For more on tonight's topic, now we've got Maddie Apice, Director of International Sales at Port Manatee, and also Carlos Diaz, the Commercial Director for World Direct Shipping, also known as the biggest client of Port Manatee. Thank you both for being here.
Yeah, I like to say the best client.
And the best client as well. So this is an exciting time for the port. You said a week ago the first ship came through the expanded Panama Canal?
June 26th. I'm lucky enough to be there.
Were you there?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How long have you been with the port?
I came to the port in 2010.
Okay, about 6 years. And this has been talked about for a long time.
Yes,
It's a very exciting time now. Things are changing for you folks.
Yes, it has. It's been talked about. We've been doing a lot of work over the years, preparing, not just for the canal, but to keep preparing, keeping your infrastructure up. We finished our intermodal container yard about 2 years ago, and it was dedicated by our governor. And we've expanded our berths, and we have 2 new berths. So we've been doing a lot of work to get ready for some future business.
So 2 more berths in addition to the 10 you already had? Or?
It's a total of 10 now.
10 now. Okay. And the last question to you, then I'll get to you. I'm so sorry. The large ships that now can come through the Panama Canal, can they come directly to Port Manatee, or must they stop elsewhere and a smaller ship comes to you?
Yeah, what's going to happen is these larger ships, they'll stop at what we call relay ports. It's called a hub and spoke concept. The ship may offload in Colón, Panama. It may offload in Caicedo, Dominican Republic. Could be Kingston, Jamaica. And what they do is they would unload the cargo onto smaller vessels, and we hope that these smaller vessels, which could be anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 TEUs, those are the type of vessels we would expect to come to Port Manatee.
What would it require for the largest ships to come to you? Is that possible?
Well, it would require a lot more depth.
Depth,
okay, yeah.
Depth of the water.
Right, and that takes a long, long time.
Carlos, you're the largest client of Port Manatee and the best one, as you said, from World Direct Shipping. How does all this affect you?
I think everything's positive for us. It's going to open up more opportunities for everybody. One of the things that we focus on is short sea shipping. We're going from Mexico into Port Manatee. And obviously what we have done is we have created a new route. And how you look at it is it's a new economic route between both countries. And we're hoping that the U.S. side and the Mexican side will come into fruition as far as warehousing, industry, manufacturing, and everything, and understand that there's a way for them to get their products to market. So I think that in coordination with what's happening and more ships coming into Port Manatee is a positive, because now somebody who's manufacturing within the Tampa Bay area or Central Florida now has got different options, not just Mexico, but maybe perhaps Panama, or even go out to the Far East.
Now, this wider canal has a trickle-down effect all across the board, doesn't it?
Exactly, and we will be on the bottom part, you know,
yes,
hopefully reaping the benefits of it.
The receiving end.
Yes.
It really does have a trickle-down effect. Prime example is if you have a new line comes in, you would need additional longshoremen to unload the vessel. You would need additional truckers. They'd be opening up new offices, managers to handle the whole logistic train. And you also would have more trucks coming in, and these trucks will have to stop and gas someplace, stop and buy food. So it really has a trickle-down effect. But maritime jobs, okay, are much better paying jobs than your service industry.
Right.
So it's very, very positive. And we look at ourselves as a job creator. Okay, we call ourselves the Port of Southwest Florida, because it doesn't just affect Manatee County, it affects counties, Sarasota counties, all the way down to Collier.
Very exciting. Do so-called maritime jobs require prior experience?
Not necessarily. A lot of times that you train people.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of jobs in the maritime industry, accounting jobs. I'm pretty heavy on having the numbers be counted correctly and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's not just having people that are experienced in maritime or stevedoring, but also professionals that do accounting and do other types of types of functions.
I see. Now, we were talking before the show, and I'm a relative novice to this. You both are experts. We've got to cover 1,000 topics a week, and you've got your one subject. So forgive me, but I didn't realize that with this wider Panama Canal, it wouldn't be allowed for a ship to go from California right through Panama up to Florida. That's the Jones Act, you said?
Yeah, the Jones Act stipulates that you can't go from one U.S. port to another U.S. port unless you're a U.S. flag carrier. Now, all these vessels are foreign flag carriers, so therefore they can't go from say Los Angeles into Miami or Port Manatee unless they're a U.S. flag.
If they could, would that be a good idea, or would rails still be cheaper?
Yeah. The most efficient way would be, if you come to West Coast port, would be to rail it. But what's important is that there's a lot of business which comes into Florida that doesn't come into a Florida port. So what we're hoping is that with these new ships coming through the canal, offloading cargo into smaller ships, more cargo will actually flow through a Florida port. So we'll be able to capture some more of that cargo.
Geographically, do you have any competition? I mean, there's a port of Tampa, I realize. Sure. But it's apples and oranges because they're doing more passenger cruises, perhaps.
No, they also are involved with containers. You know, it's we're all of our ports are friendly competitors. We're all part of the Florida Port Association, and we work together. Okay, Florida has 15 seaports, so we work very hard to talk about the advantages of each seaport and to bring as much cargo and jobs into the state of Florida as we can.
You want to climb on that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I perfectly agree with Maddie. There's different functions that each port has. I mean, tapping into different markets. One of the advantages for us in taking Port Manatee is the accessibility to southern Florida, as well as the accessibility to 75 to go right up the Midwest. For us, having cargo coming in Port Manatee, we can actually expedite it out. You know, we have a great relationship with the port, with the Customs Customs and Border Patrol, where we can get the cargo out. So there's a lot less congestion, but there's a lot of flexibility. So we have South Florida, we could easily get on 75. We also got, the booming Central Florida area,
right.
And of course, Florida is a great market because one of the things is, the population of Florida is 20 to 25 million, but what people don't look at is that there's close to 100 million visitors coming into Florida every year.
Busy place, yeah.
So
now, leaving Panama for a moment, here talking about Cuba, do the changes there affect you at all?
We're ready. Okay, when it's certainly will be legal to move cargo. I mean, the port doesn't move cargo to Cuba; it's our customers that do. So we're the closest port to Mariel, Cuba, which is where the containers will go in. So that's about a 12-hour trip. So we envisioned, once the embargo is lifted, that just like other Caribbean nations that don't produce much, there could be daily shuttles, combination of maybe passenger ferries, also taking some cargo.
And I've heard rumors and speculation over the years that there might be some day where a cruise ship, commercial passenger cruise ship, could come and go from Port Manatee. Is that a long-term goal?
Well, we had the possibility of having what you would call maybe a boutique type of cruise ship. Smaller passengers. Okay, maybe something in the 2,000 range. But the ferries. Okay, these European ferries, which you're probably familiar with. I mean, they have complete restaurants. They have casinos on it. You can get a good night's sleep. You can leave Port Manatee and 12 hours later be in Cuba. So we envisioned the day where there will be European-type ferries coming from Port Manatee.
Last minute left. I'm kind of curious. A commercial director for World Direct Shipping. What do you ship exactly?
We're shipping a lot of fruits and vegetables, sugar, lumber, fertilizer, and food supplements, northbound, and then southbound. We do a lot of recyclables, machinery going southbound.
Okay, so safe to say one of the most exciting junctures in the port's history?
Well, I was very excited to be there. It was an historical moment.
In Panama, yeah.
It certainly was.
And how are they feeling down there about this? Pretty good as well.
They are very excited. They had about 30,000 workers that were involved with this project, and 95% of them were Panamanians.
Was this more of a U.S. initiative or a Florida initiative to widen this? Who helped more, the federal government or state government?
Well, I think it was a good mixture.
Good mixture, okay.
Good mixture.
That's safe to say. What a time. Maddie and Carlos, great to meet you, and thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.